channel. If you just got your brand shiny new planner, but you have no idea where to begin with it, I totally feel you. I remember when I got my first planner, my first Erin Condren was in 2011, and it came in the mail, I opened it, I was so excited to start using it, and then I was like, what do I do with this thing? I spent a long time researching Instagram, looking at different layouts, and a lot of trial and error, figuring out different things that worked well and didn't work well for me. And just as a quick disclaimer, there are a lot of different ways to use your planner, so by all means, this is not the definitive thing. This is just how I've been liking to use my planner in recent years. Just something to get you started if you're feeling a little bit lost. Basically, I'm just making the video that I wish existed when I got my first planner because I was pretty lost, and hopefully this will help you guys if you're feeling the same way. Also, if you guys like this video, I'm really excited to announce that there is a project that I've been working on, and I've just been trying to think like, how can I help you guys the most? I'm gonna be doing a free challenge to teach you all of my best tips and tricks on how to get the most out of your planner and plan your best year yet. That is gonna be, I'm still working out the details, but I think it's gonna be like a 5 or 7 day challenge. So not only is this gonna be super informative, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun too. If you are interested in this challenge, you can sign up for the waitlist using the link in the description box below. There will be some goodies for early birds, just saying, so you may want to go ahead and sign up. For now, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So I'm going to be using my 2019 Erin Condren LifePlanner, but you should be able to also apply most of these tips to other planners like the Happy Planner that is pictured here. The layouts aren't exactly identical, but a lot of the tips will work between both, especially with the Happy Planner because it has a very similar layout to Erin Condren. And I'm going to use primarily washi tape for this tutorial because I just find that washi tape is a really affordable way to decorate your planner, and you can get washi tape like this from Michael's or the one in my left hand from Paper Source. So if you're super excited about decorating, you can just pop into your local store and go ahead and get supplies. I remember when I first started decorating, I was so anxious to get my supplies and I didn't want to wait for it. You can also get washi tape like this. I got this from Amazon, and this was on Amazon Prime, so I was able to get it on the 2-day shipping. For other supplies I'm going to use some color pens, my favorite black pen, and a pair of scissors. And let's not forget our ultimate planner supply, which is coffee, or I guess in this case, I think it's actually tea. I can't remember what I was drinking when I filmed this. So here's a little preview of my new 6 new ways to use washi tape video. This is what I did in the monthly view for January 2019. And here's a little preview for the weekly layout that I also used for that tutorial. I think this looks really good, and I'm excited to show you guys how I made this happen. And I'm going to use a different week in my life planner for this tutorial. As you can see, there are some sticky notes here, and this is something I like to do for my pre-planning, and I'm going to cover this and more in my challenge that I mentioned earlier. So if you're interested, definitely sign up for the waitlist using the link in the description box below. I want to go ahead and pick which washi tape I want to use for this layout. So I really like this green sprinkle washi tape, and I'm going to go ahead and just use this set I got on Amazon because I figured that this would be a good place to start, but you can really just use any washi tapes that you like, and this is a pretty standard size that I'm using here. So if you've seen my other Plan With Me videos, this should look really familiar because I usually decorate my planner about the same these days. I like my spread to be very colorful while still leaving lots of room for writing, and one way that I like to do this is by adding washi tape. This just makes the planner look prettier, and you know, the reason I decorate the planner is because it just keeps me more engaged in using it. If decorating your planner stresses you out, then definitely, by all means, this is totally not necessary for you to use it, of course. I think this is just a way to make it more fun and give you some incentive to use your planner on a more regular basis. But yeah, what I like to do is take the washi tape and line the bottom edge first. And now I'm going to use a coordinating color to add some color to the top section. So this is an area where I don't really find a lot of use in writing, but I'm going to take the washi tape and take it from the edge over to the date. Some people like to cover up the date. I like to kind of just take it to the edge. And as far as that little turquoise flag, I think the colors coordinate enough. So yeah, I'm not going to take this washi tape all the way over. I just want to take it to where the year number starts. And there are many ways you can cut the washi tape. I personally prefer to use scissors, but you may have seen in some of my other videos, you can use a gift card or credit card or any sort of hard-edged piece of plastic to rip the washi tape. I find that can be a little tricky, and sometimes the rips are a little jagged, and sometimes they don't work at all if the washi tape is especially like a metallic one. But yeah, that's just the way that I prefer to cut mine. The reason that I'm folding it back and forth is I've just found that it's easier for me to add the washi tape to the planner this way. So I think the planner looks a lot more colorful now, and it doesn't really take up too much writing space. There's a style of planning called no white space, but I actually like to leave a lot of room for writing. So I try to put the washi tape in areas where I typically don't write very much. So now just looking at the colors in this roll of washi tape, between these two rolls, I think these represent all of the colors that are going to be in this color scheme for this set. So I'm just going to take my favorite color pen set, and all the supplies are going to be linked in the description box below, by the way. Usually I use this black pen, but if you want to make the planner look even more colorful, you can use these color pens, and what I try to do is pull different colors that match the washi tape. This set has 20, there's another set that has 36, I believe, so usually I can almost always find at least 3 to 5 colors that match my washi tape. And yeah, you can kind of see this turquoise color even sort of matches the washi tape of the turquoise roll. I'm not too worried about the colors matching perfectly because I'm more interested in not having too many supplies, but if you really want your colors to match, by all means get as many colors as you want. I used to do more of that, but now I've tried to take a more simple approach because it just makes everyday planning a little bit more easy for me personally. And yeah, I think these colors look pretty good with this washi tape, so I'm going to set those aside. Usually I like to get all of my washi tape down before I start decorating. Oh, by the way, here's another pink sparkle pen that I like. I think I just got this at a local craft store, but if I can find it online, I'll link it too. But yeah, usually I like to get all of my washi tape down before I do the writing, or at least get most of it down. Here you can see I'm just pointing out those sticky notes. These represent different events that are upcoming. I usually use the lower two boxes for planning when I have different events happening, and if you watch my washi tape video, I use washi tape to create these banner-like stickers, and I'm just kind of measuring out about how long I want the banners to look. I'm going for a slightly more long banner. I usually like them to take up, I guess, about half of the box, if you will, although I don't typically measure these perfectly. So because I have 3 events, I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 strips that are roughly the same size. You can measure this with a ruler if you want, but like I said, I used to be more particular about my decorations, but I found that I was getting stressed about the perfection of it, and now I just try to have a little bit more fun and be a little bit more loose with it, and that kind of helps me stay more engaged with the planner. So I'm going to move those pre-planning sticky notes out of the way, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut a little triangle in the bottom of this. You can either cut it one side at a time, or you can fold it in half and cut the little triangle out like so. That's a little tip one of my viewers told me about, and I actually like to try to use as much of the washi tape as possible, so I'm going to take that little triangle and set it aside for later. And sometimes I do turn the planner when I'm trying to line up my edges just so I can get a closer look at it. I usually start left to right, or I guess at least line up the edge of the washi tape to the line. So these 2 sticky notes represent some events that are happening in the evening, and I usually use this lower row for after work activities. And then this represents a daytime activity, and I usually use this middle box for events that are happening during the day, and for boxes where I don't have events, then I'll often put a decorative sticker or an inspirational quote, or write down something interesting I learned that day. It's an area that I have a little bit more flexibility with. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of this washi tape into those banners, and I'll get these put down. One thing when you're first using your planner is you want to figure out what you want to use all the different boxes for. So for the vertical layout, each column represents a day, and the old school Erin Condren planner, it used to be morning, day, and night. And maybe because that's how it was when I first got it, I kind of use it in a similar way, except that I actually use the top row for to-do list. And then, like I said, I use the middle section for daytime events or other notes or things that randomly I want to write down, and then that lower box for events that are happening in the evening. The reason I do this is because I'm not the kind of person who often remembers what I have going on in a day or a week, and sometimes I was finding that I was double booking myself. So now that I have these banner stickers down, when I see the banner, I know, hey, something is happening here, and I need to make sure that I don't double book myself and I don't plan any other activities. So when I find out about an event or if a friend asks me to dinner, I know I can check here first and see if the night is free or if I already have something scheduled. So for example, this Tuesday night, I have dinner plans with my friend Dion, and I just wrote that in with my pink pen. And I'm just coordinating the pink ink to the banner. It's not a perfect match, but it's close enough for me. This daytime event is a dentist appointment. And then this evening event is a concert. So I not only use these for making sure that I'm planning my week out accordingly, but also so that I know what I need to do to prepare for something. So for example, for the concert, I may want to go ahead and pick out an outfit the night before. Now, you may be tempted at this point to go ahead and put some of the more decorative washi tape down, but I sort of learned the hard way that if you put down tape that isn't functional, sometimes you put it down in a space where you actually end up needing to put something more functional in its place. So I'm going to hold off on the decorative stuff and continue with my functional planning, which is tracking my events and all the other fun stuff. And on Wednesday, I didn't put a pre-planning thing, but Monday and Wednesday are usually my workout days. On Wednesdays, I teach Zumba. So because I know that's every Wednesday, I usually don't do a pre-planning sticky note like I said. And same thing for Monday, because my workout is on Wednesday every week and I want to have a rest day in between. Usually one of my other workout days is Monday. And I'm just using the same methodology with the pink washi, with the sprinkle washi to create another event banner, because even though when I'm pre-planning, I know that I have something those nights, when I'm actually planning, if the space is empty, I may actually forget and schedule something there. So I want to go ahead and block off this time so that I know that that evening is already occupied, or at least that certain time part, which is why I put it near the top of the box and leave space at the end. I have done something like teach Zumba and then meet a friend for dinner after, and so there is still space for that if something like that were to happen. And I'm going to go ahead and use this green ink pen to fill in what this activity is about. And usually I just put the time, what it is at a high level. Sometimes I'll put, for example, if it's dinner with a friend, who I'm going with, or if there are any other details that I need to know. Now I'm going to use this washi tape and this matching color pen to create some to-do list boxes in the top section. And I flipped my planner upside down because it's just easier to line up the edge of the washi tape with that top line. But feel free to flip the planner around if you need to or not. So one thing I like about this is it just adds a little bit more color to the planner, but it also helps in a bit of a functional way, because to me, it helps define not only the weekday versus weekend boxes, because I'm only going to take it through Friday, but it also helps color coordinate with the pen, which tells me that this is a to-do list section. And yeah, organizing with color and with the decorations and everything, it just kind of helps keep everything straight in my mind. Does this make sense to you guys too? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe it's just me. And most washi tapes you don't really have to press down too hard on, but sometimes I do give it an extra press just to make sure that it is well stuck down. And now I'm just using my color pen to write to do at the top of each of these boxes. One of the reasons I like using my planner for to-do lists is because I find that that top box is almost just enough space for 5 to-do list items, and I once read that you really can't accomplish more than 5 to-do items in a day. So if you are creating long to-do lists, which is something that I used to do, you're basically just setting yourself up for failure. So I actually like using this box for the to-do list. Sometimes I don't put this washi tape just because it does take up a little bit of the space, but yeah, I do like that it helps give me a place for daily to-dos that is realistic. And then what I do is I actually don't fill in the to-do until the day of, because I literally want each box to be the to-do list for that day. If I have any to-do items that are something more that need to happen at some point during the week, then sometimes I'll actually write those in the left-hand side of the planner. But yeah, let's just go ahead and zoom in. I usually just draw little boxes here. These are not very pretty, but they get the job done. And I used to use checklist stickers here, but those were getting kind of expensive. So yeah, I just started doing these boxes. They're just a little bit simpler, and yeah, it's enough to work for me. So I'm just using a color pen to write grateful or gratitude at the top. I usually use this upper left-hand box for a grateful thought for the week. I do also practice gratitude on a daily basis, but I use a phone app for that. I just added some little hearts for just some extra decoration. I haven't spent a lot of time focusing on drawing in the planner, but maybe that's something I can work on in 2019. And now I'm just going to use this pink washi tape to cover the Saturday and Sunday boxes. This is something that sort of helps call out the weekend space for me, while also, yes, adding color. And now I'm doing something else for my first washi tape video, and that is creating a weekend banner with washi tape. So I'm just drawing a curved line here with one of my color pens, and this is just going to help define where the banner is, hanging. And I found this is a really great way to use up that leftover washi tape from those banners that we cut earlier. Here they are, I just set them aside and I just pulled them back for this step. And this isn't really so much functional, but it does kind of, bring me like a weird sense of happiness when I look at it. It's just something that makes the planner a little bit more fun, and if the planner's fun, I'm more likely to use it. Just lining up the edges of those triangles with the line that I just drew, and I'm alternating the green sprinkles with the pink washi tape. Washi tape is pretty sticky, so sometimes it does get a little stuck to your fingers as well as stuck to itself if it gets rolled up. But don't worry, it's very easy to untangle. Just take your time and try to not rush it. And also don't rush when you're pulling it off of the roll, because sometimes it will just rip and then you've wasted some of your washi tape. I've definitely learned that lesson the hard way a couple times. And one thing I like to do when I'm decorating my planner is just sort of open up the whole thing and just take a look at it and see how I'm feeling about it. Does it look like there's anything else I need to fill in? Do I want to add more stickers? Or, how is it looking? Do I have enough space to write as I'm using it throughout the week? Because I do usually set it up on Saturday or Sunday and then use it throughout the week. So I find that I write in it a lot as the week goes on. I just noticed that the left-hand side doesn't have any column dividers, and I usually like to make at least 2 or 3 sections on this part just so that I can use it for different purposes. I like to use the washi tape to distinguish like a top section and a bottom section. That way I can write different types of notes and group them accordingly. And I'm just going to use another color pen, and I think I'm going to use this top box as a focus for the week. So I'm just going to write focus. And I'm going to use a technique I've been using a lot recently, which is drawing these little 3 teardrop shapes around the words. I don't know why, but it just kind of makes the word pop a little bit more to me and kind of makes it look a little bit more pretty. The more I look at my handwriting, the more I'm thinking that handwriting and lettering might be something I need to work on in the new year. But hey, we're always improving and learning new things, right? So this bottom section I decided to make 4 goals for the week, and I'm just using the same color pen and using the same technique to call a little attention to that column header. Sorry, got a little cut off there. That's what it looks like though. So let's unfold this and take a look. And now that my baseline planning is done and no other events or anything have popped to mind, I think it's time to go ahead and start getting a little decorative. So I'm going to add some of this gold decorative washi tape just to make the planner look a little bit more fun. Did I say fun a lot this video? I do try to have a good time when I'm planning, what can I say? I'm going to go ahead and put this along the bottom of these boxes. That way, if anything does pop up, I still do have some writing space. And I just did a quick measurement for these. I'll measure it based on how many of these little shapes I can fit, because this washi tape is actually like slightly see-through, and for whatever reason I don't really like cutting through the shapes. So I don't mind on this one versus say the pineapples if it lines up exactly from one end of the box to the other. I think this looks pretty good like this. And guys, just a reminder to not be too hard on yourself with the planner. First of all, the washi tape, as you can see here, it's I needed to pull it up a little bit. You can very easily pull it up and place it back down, but also just try to have a good time with this and not be too hard on yourself about everything being perfect. At least that's what's helped me be a little bit more regular in my use of the planner and made the overall experience a bit more enjoyable. See there, it accidentally got a little stuck down, but unlike glue, you can just pull this right back up, and that's just another one of the many reasons I like using washi tape. And I just measured the icons out on this similar to the other page. Now I'm just trimming it. But yeah, usually by this time, I know I said don't decorate earlier, but that was just because sometimes other things pop into my mind that I know I have going on in the week, and I want to have space in case I need to put more banners or anything like that. But towards the end, I usually do try to get a little bit more decorative with the planner and start filling in additional space. And I also like these gold arrows, so I'm going to put some of this down as well. Once I can find the end of the washi tape, for you new planners, sometimes the struggle is really real, and you will spin that thing around and just not be able to find the edge of it. I don't know why. And I was thinking of placing this washi tape down here, but then I changed my mind. Feel free to change your mind as much as you want. It's all part of the creative process, guys. So I'm just taking a yellow pen. This is one of my least used colors just because you can't really write with it, but I'm just adding a little bit of embellishment to my column headers over here on the left-hand side. Feel free to make this as colorful as you like. Just filling in those hearts with a little yellow as well. And here are all my pens. Basically, I just kind of keep these set aside for the week and use these to fill in the week as it goes. Oftentimes, being real, I usually just use the black pen, but I do find that when I use the color pen, it does make the planner look a bit more colorful and color coordinated. It's looking a little empty over on this left-hand side, so I'm going to use this green pen to just fill in an inspirational quote. I love adding quotes to my planner, and quote stickers are actually one of my favorite stickers to have, and I do use those quite a bit. But I also like to write it in, even though my handwriting isn't the greatest, with a pen. Sometimes I'll be on Pinterest and I'll find a quote I like, and it's just really resonating with me for that week. And having the inspirational quote in the planner just sort of gives me some good vibes and positivity for the week, because I'm looking at this at least one time a day. And it just helps me remember to keep my mindset strong and stay positive. One thing I like to do is I'll use these lower boxes sometimes to track my dinners. Sometimes I'll use it for meal planning, and sometimes I'll actually just write down what I actually ate that day. So I'm going to go ahead and use my pen, do a little bit of meal planning, and I'm just writing down what I want to eat each day of the week. So for Monday, I'm just putting veggie stir fry. So I'm not going to fill in the rest of the week because you guys get the idea, and also I don't know what I'm going to be eating this week yet, but this is a really useful way that I like to use that lower section of the planner. But yeah, just zooming out, this is pretty much it for this tutorial, and this is what the final spread looks like. Alright, that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing because that really supports my channel. If you're interested in the challenge, like I said, the link's in the description box below. I would definitely love to have you guys participate in that with me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!